Nicole Gill is the Executive Director of Accountable Tech, and she is coming not only by herself today with some phenomenal rock star superstars that happen to be students right now. And so please, warm welcome, Nicole Gill. Take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Richard. I'm so excited to be here. Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole. I am coming to you from Boston, Massachusetts. I feel like I should also introduce my connection. I have an almost 2-year-old, so listening to everyone talk about how to use tech and responsibly with young people is certainly of interest to me. My daughter already knows how to swipe. I think it comes with the territory these days. So I run a nonprofit called Accountable Tech. And what we do is really work with the tech companies, with social media companies, with online apps, with platforms to make sure that they're doing their part to keep the internet and our online ecosystem safe for young people, and that they prioritize privacy and well-being of all of our young people. And so I got asked to be here today to moderate a panel with 3 exceptional young people who are demonstrating how to be digital citizens and live the values of this conference and of this group in their day-to-day life. So what I'm going to do, we have a very short time for this panel because there's a lot you all are going to get through this morning. I'm going to introduce each panelist. After I introduce them, I'm going to ask them a question. And then if we have time at the end, we'll come back and do a little bit of discussion and round robin. So first, I get to introduce Alanis. And Alanis is a founding member of the Computer Science Honor Society and is the ASB Digital Citizen Champion at her school. She leverages social media and digital tools to provide access and awareness to computer science opportunities, including coding camps in her local community. And as the Digital Citizen Champion, Alanis hopes to engage students, teachers, and families in leveraging digital tools and technology to make a positive change and impact in their communities. Thank you for being here, Alanis. So as the Digital Citizen Champion in your school district, and your school district, of course, is represented here today with a number of students and teachers and families, tell us a little bit about what that role means and what kind of work you do to promote digital citizenship.
Hi, so yes, so as I was in my school for a while, because I was there since 7th grade, I always heard about digital citizenship, and I was always thinking, I knew the general definition of being positive online, but that is as far as I knew. And additionally, I felt very strongly about using technology for good. I think that it's such a wonderful resource to have. So it upset me to see when students at my school or around the community were using it to bring others down. So when my teacher and leadership advisor, Ms. Navarro, came up to me and she was like, this is a new position for ASB. Do you want to run for it? I highly encourage it. I quickly agreed because I knew that this was my chance to not only help students go more into depth as to what digital citizenship is all about, because it's more than just being positive online. It's just using technology to make that impact and showing them how they can do it themselves, that it's not something that is so out there for them. And some of the things we've done as well to help out with this is launching a few things that we had launched since last week, or this past week that just ended, was Digital Citizenship Week. So we had Tech Tip Tuesday, where students can submit tech tips to help their students, their peers, their teachers, and their parents who follow our Instagram. And it was also posted on Schoology. So these are all tech tips. They're little hacks around the computer, such as like the Command C, so for copy and paste. We had our first issue, which was how to find word count, which we believe would help seniors right now who are doing their college applications and need their word count. We also had digital citizen nominations and spotlights to encourage students to not only nominate their peers who they identify as positive digital citizens, but to also be a positive digital citizen in hopes of being spotlighted.
That's great. Thank you, Alanis. Next, we're going to move to Nick Griffin. Nick is a 9th grader at Peak to Peak Charter School in Boulder, Colorado. He is very active in student government, organizing announcement videos and school-wide surveys that impact school decision-making. Nick also participates in computer science and coding activities outside of school. And I happen to know from our prior conversation, Nick was inspired to really become involved with tech and responsible tech with his kindergarten tech teacher. And so Nick is in the 9th grade and in a part of student government. So Nick, could you tell us a little bit about how you use tech to responsibly build community with your classmates and through the work you're doing in student government?
Of course, and thank you, Nicole. Well, once again, my name is Nick Griffin, he, him. And my response to that question is, first off, it provides an active student engagement. This past week, what our English department is sort of known for is our essays on positive engagement. And so we watched the movie Mean Girls, and we learned about what does it mean to when we don't talk to people kindly, and what does it mean when we do these things? And we put that in our little video announcements about asking that question to people. And additionally, we also, in our video announcements, we have these, what's the word for it? We like to advertise new student clubs, and we do that, and it provides a higher engagement in those clubs, and it builds communities within those clubs. Oh, this is why you should join our Asian student union. This is why you should join our Black student union. And it provides that conversation between those two. And the student government recently had this thing on the video announcements. It was a live session about all these different club leaders of these different groups talking about, oh, this is what it means to be this type of person. And it really helped everyone in our school come together as a more positive community and grow and be a bigger person, bigger people, and share people's experiences. Additionally, I also create these surveys for our school that we take all this information from students, we hear students' voices, and we make decisions based on that. For example, this next week will be our Spirit Week, and a lot of our Spirit days and our ideas came from these surveys. For example, we had a construction day, a white shirt day for our whiteout game on Wednesday, and it's all very exciting. And thank you.
That's awesome, Nick. It sounds like Spirit Week is a lot of fun. And our third panelist is Anna Miller, and Anna is passionate about motivating people to do amazing things, take risks, and get involved, particularly when it comes to accessibility, inclusion, and equity. She serves on the Microsoft Council for Digital Good, which is composed of teens across the country who are dedicated to building safer and more accessible digital spaces. She also enjoys creating motivational videos for her Instagram channel, and she and her family were selected to live anywhere with Airbnb. And Anna writes on her Instagram page about her experiences traveling and accessibility in travel. So Anna, I'm going to ask you to talk a little bit more about that specifically, and what you're doing and how you share news about building safer and more accessible digital spaces.
Thank you. So I'm using my Instagram platform to share what it's like, not only traveling, but traveling with a disability. And because the world has kind of conceived this notion that people with disabilities are confined to either their hospital or their home, it's very hard to talk about and explain to people that there's so much more that's possible. And even when I'm traveling, people will ask me, wow, I mean, that looks so cool. I would never be able to do that though. And it's really important to talk about this and highlight this and show that disabled travel is possible. And that disability in general is inclusivity for disabled people. It's very important. The disabled community is one of the most underrepresented minorities in the world. And even if they are represented in some way, it's not authentic and it's not showing what's really important, which is the accessibility, which is the inclusion. And that's what I'm highlighting on my Instagram platform. Yes, I'm doing motivational videos, I'm connecting with people, but I'm also telling people that disabled and disabilities are, it's a very big minority that anyone can join at any point in their lives. And we need to showcase this more, and that inclusivity is something that we need to value and understand. And I love how it is being valued for all the other communities. I love that. But for the disabled community, it is important, it is needed, and it's not being highlighted enough. And so using my traveling for Airbnb, I'm going to all these exciting and different places. I'm talking about what I've been seeing, what I've been doing, and I'm also showing that, just because I have a wheelchair, that doesn't mean anything. That just means, it's a little bit different for me, and that's fine. We always make it work, and I know other people can always make it work.
Love that, Anna. What is your Instagram channel or Instagram?
It's the Real Anna Miller.
Real Anna Miller. So folks can find you online in your message. So because we have such a strong audience today of families, of parents, of teachers, I'd love to ask each of you to share, what can parents and teachers do to really inspire their students, their children, to become better digital citizens? What is it that a teacher or a mentor can do to help you on this journey? Does anyone want to select to go first, or I can? Nick, are you unmuting?
Yeah, sure. I
Perfect.
can answer that question. So what I would say for teachers and teachers and parents to engage their kids in more of a positive digital citizenship is share the experiences that come out from it when you do it. For example, in my school, before I started these video announcements, which I was inspired to make by one of my younger tech teachers, a lot of our announcements were like this, which you couldn't really hear anything. You didn't really know what's going on. You weren't really excited about what was going to happen throughout the week. And when we started these things, we got a lot more engagement. We got a lot more connections between people. We built communities. And additionally, we also allowed people to volunteer and grow from these experiences.
Thanks, Nick. Alanis, do you want to go next?
Yes. So I think that it's very important for teachers and parents to not only role model, but to also make those connections to digital citizenship. A lot of the practices for positive digital citizenship are used in your daily lives. And I think students or kids, they don't realize that is positive digital citizenship. And so when they hear positive digital citizenship, they might think that that's something that's so out there that not everybody can do. But in reality, it's something that it's very easy to do. And you actually do it in your daily lives without realizing. And if you don't, you can. And I think parents and teachers should help by making those connections and showing students that it's very much possible and that you can do so much from being a positive digital citizen. And yes.
That's great. I think we have to wrap up. I'm sorry, Anna. But please, everyone, follow Anna on Instagram. And I think we are going to throw it over to Sophia from the LA Unified District School Board to take it from here.